Hi, I'm Paul Friedman, founder of the Marriage Foundation, and I like this topic that we're about to do. It's called 3 Essentials for Marriage Fixing. Number 1, this is important. Commit to your original intention when you got married. Do you remember what that was? If you're a man, it was to love this woman forever and ever and just do anything for her, provide as best you can, work harder than you've ever worked in your life to please her, and on and on and on, right? And if you're the wife, you wanted to take care of your husband, have his babies, and be cuddled and cuddle him and give him more intimacy than he ever imagined having, letting him know that you're his queen and you're there for him forever and ever. Remember that intention that you had? It was mirrored in the vows. Go back to the vows that you gave at the altar when you said, I do. We forget those vows. Why do we do that? Why do we forget those vows? It's not your fault. We have within us, and I'm not getting religious on you, okay? But it is spiritual because marriage is spiritual because marriage is all about love, isn't it? And I have to make this comparison. In Western psychology, which is pretty much everywhere these days, they talk about love as an increased like. And that's true if you're picking out a new car or a new dress or something, then it's an increased like, but it's psychological. It pleases you, and this is a fleeting thing. That kind of love is fleeting. But real love is a transcendental force. It is the greatest gift that God has given us, and it's all-encompassing. And it way transcends our mind. The mind can't even wrap its arms around it. And that's the reason we got married. And that's what we committed to giving. We committed to loving each other with all of our hearts, our minds, and our energy. And we were never taught how to cultivate that love. Isn't it true? When we want to get our license, we have to learn about driving, but we don't do that when it comes to marriage. We don't get an education about what marriage is. Now, I used to be a divorce mediator. I only started saving marriages in 2001, just like yesterday, 25 years ago. But I had to look at marriage differently than those who used to send me my business when I was a divorce mediator, because I'm not a Western psychologist. Now, I trained a lot of Western psychologists later on, and they were very receptive to this because they knew that marriage counseling wasn't working for them. Now, it could, in many cases, help a couple work through an issue or something. I worked with couples and individuals for 8 years once I realized I'm onto something. And I'll give you an example. One couple came to me and there was a problem with, well, does the mother live with us? I say the mother because, to be honest with you, I can't remember which one's mother it was. And they needed someone to help them lay it out for them on my whiteboard. So that's really a good use of a Western psychologist because they could help you get into why you might resent this, why you might be okay with it, and the like. But when it comes to fixing a marriage, you need a different kind of education. You don't need someone to help you through something. When you're fixing your marriage, what you really want is you want a marriage that's not just going to last, but you want that which you intuitively know belongs to you because you're married, which is happiness and love. That's what you want. So I wrote a couple of books. I wrote Lessons for a Happy Marriage. That was my first book, kind of simple. And then I wrote Breaking the Cycle. And you could go to our website to look at these, or you could go right to Amazon. Plenty of reviews, and you'll see how much what people have to say, because it's very different from the Western approach to marriage. And I think for most people, they can relate to it. It's common sense stuff. And then for people who are really suffering, we created an online course, one for men and one for women, because men and women really see marriage very differently. And here's another thing you've never heard before. Marriage is an individual thing. All these ideas of, well, it takes two to tango and two of you have to work on it at the same time is actually contrary to the truth. If you talk to any marriage counselor, they will acknowledge that when a couple goes to marriage counseling, there is one who wants to be there and another who is dragged in to one degree or another. And they're just going along with it. And really what you want is you want to complete this connection between the two of you. Call it a bridge. If you build a bridge, anyone can walk on that bridge. So you're building the bridge between yourself and your spouse. You're reinforcing it with love and goodwill. And you're creating again that connection that you first had. And as you learn how to do that, of course, it's just only going to get better and better and better. And that is what you want, isn't it? So that's number one, is recommit yourself to the original intentions. That doesn't mean taking your vows again. It means remembering those vows. Okay, number two, and this is important. You cannot do this on your own. There is no DIY. I mean, it is do it yourself if you use one of my books or the courses. It is, I guess, DIY, but you need an expert. It may not be me. It may not be me. It may be someone else, but you want to believe that they truly understand marriage. And there's kind of a list that you could go in if you use marriage counseling. If you decide, no, we can't do a course, this guy, I like what he's saying, but we need marriage counseling. You don't, but go in with a list. Ask the counselor, what is our goal? What are we going to achieve? Now, if you go to a doctor and you're having trouble with your back, you're going to ask the doctor, can you heal me completely to where I could walk again? You're establishing a goal. And because the doctor has had plenty of experience, he can tell you, here's what we're striving for. Here's what you can achieve. So, unfortunately, marriage counselors are really not given this overlay of marriage as I provide. And so they'll probably say something like, well, what is it that you want? And then what good is that? You're going to say, well, we want an amazing marriage that the love just keeps increasing. The connection keeps increasing. The joy keeps increasing. That's what we want. That's what we thought we were going to get when we first got married. And he'll go, and how do you propose we do that? How does that make you feel? That's all nonsense. The truth of the matter is, if that's what you want, it's because it's what marriage is designed to provide. You need to learn how to be married. So find a marriage expert who knows what they're doing. Okay? And then you're on your way. Number three, and this is very important, and it's very non-traditional, but the truth is, this is the only way that works. Don't put it on your spouse to achieve the marriage that you want. You, as the individual who's seeking marriage help, are ready for it. They're not. Now, sometimes they are. Occasionally we have someone sign up for the course and they go through it for a few days and they go, wow, and they tell their husband or their wife about it and they're ready to, and they sign up. In fact, we have a discounted plan for them. But generally speaking, the person who's leading the way is the one who's most capable of recreating the dynamic of the marriage that you want. Illustration, probably not a great one for you because times have changed. I grew up at a time when there were still horses. Well, we didn't use them to go to school, but we were aware of horses. And if you put two horses together, there's sometimes one that's lazy and the other one is happy to trot off. And, the second one is helping pull the carriage, but not quite as much or not at all. And they're just going along for the ride. And that's what happens when we're together in a marriage. One of us is ready to heal the marriage. I've had enough. It starts from a negative place. I want a great marriage. I don't want to just fix it. And the other is going, yeah, okay, it'll work. It works just fine. In fact, nothing else works. Now, there's a great psychologist out there who has written many books. He's very famous, but he requires both of the couple to be on the page at the same time. Gottman. I love the guy's work. In fact, some of the people I've trained swear by his methodology. And it's great when a couple are both on the same page. But when not, I've met a number of people, and we have people who have tried the Gottman strategy, and they end up with us because they weren't both on the same page. The truth is, if one of you, which is you, is serious about not just saving your marriage, but transforming it, you have all the power. And trying to do it the other way is like banging your head against the wall. It just is. And I could go down a list of reasons why. The main reason is it takes a lot of effort. I'm not going to lie to you. It takes a lot of effort. There's getting educated. There's reconforming your mind to meet your heart's desire for love, and the list goes on. And so it's not so easy. Now, it's not like learning how to be a doctor, but you have to put in the effort. So that's it. Put it on yourself, not on your spouse. And those are the 3 essentials for marriage fixing. Again, I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. Click on the link below. Go to our website. See all the things we have to offer you. And we're here for you. If you leave a comment, a question in the comments, I'll answer it for you. Or you could write to our marriage counselors and they'll give you an answer. That's a free service. So God bless you and take care. Thank you.